Karen Bonifilio, Inner Realms, Outer Journeys. We have another treat for you today. I want to introduce you to Leanne Taylor. Leanne, would you like to say hi before I tell everybody about you?
Hi, thank you very much for having me, Karen. I really appreciate this. And hi, everybody.
Yeah, she's fabulous. She lives up north from me. She lives in Vancouver, Canada. Is that correct?
Just outside of Vancouver, yes.
Outside, yeah. I know we're getting rainy weather. Are you getting rainy weather up there?
Oh, yes. We live out in the valley, so I'm nestled in the mountains all around us, so I get lots of rain, yes.
Oh, I love it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I do too.
I really do. I love it. And we live in a forest, which is really nice.
Oh, that's fabulous. Fabulous.
It is. Okay, let me tell you about Leanne. She's a mental psychic medium. I'm going to ask you about that because I don't know what the mental part means. A mental psychic medium and a trance medium. Well, I love trance. So we're definitely talking about that today. Her trance abilities to allow for connection through soul to soul and share guidance or words of wisdom that your soul may need at that moment. A spiritual healing journey or a connection with a loved one that has crossed over is also guidance that is offered. Leanne would be honored to support you spiritually with grace, compassion, and love. I got to tell you, that's one of the best intros I've read. It is just really heartfelt. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So, Leanne, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was trying to think about which avenue to go down today when I'm speaking with you and the audience. And I think what I want to just do a chat on is what the secret is in the gifts that we have as mediums, because I think that is quite confusing to the average person. When they see people that are mediums, they wonder, how can they do that, or what did they go through in order to get there? And not knowing that anybody can be a medium, that we all are connected spiritually. And I think that it's, it's just such a beautiful thing. So I thought if I just chatted about my journey and give some insight about how I got to where I am, that perhaps it would give people more knowledge about how they too could follow their spiritual journey as well.
I have to tell you, that's perfect. Because do you know how many people say, I wish I could do what you do, or that, and everybody can. You can. There ain't nothing special. You just have to work on it. So, well, tell us how you got started.
Well, what began when I was a little girl, my great uncle was a Jesuit priest in the Catholic Church. So my grandmother was a devout Catholic. So I grew up with angels all around and pictures of Jesus. I used to kneel when I was a little girl and say my prayers to this big, beautiful portrait of Jesus that my uncle had gotten that was in one of the monasteries. I have it to this day. And I always felt this beautiful warmth. I always felt very protected. I always felt this white light around me. I had a very good childhood. My parents loved me very much. And I feel very blessed because I know not everybody experiences that growing up. So then when I was 14, I was I was in junior high school, and there was a group of boys from one of my classes, and one of them called me over and wanted to chat and sort of led me to there was a church across the street where we used to smoke when we were 14. Hey?
I love it.
So this boy called me over anyway, and I knew him from my classes, so I went over to see him. And then all of a sudden there was 5 boys around me, and it wasn't nice. The hair on the back of my neck stood up.
Oh no!
I just looked, and all of a sudden I felt terror. Long story short, I was sexually assaulted in front of about 50 people, and I remember, they threw me on the ground and they were holding my head down and my arms and trying to pull my clothes off. And I looked up and I saw all these people standing there watching, and not one person said a word. And I remember in that moment praying to God, saying, please let me die. Like, I was just mortified, as you can imagine.
Anyway, no, really, actually, people were walking by and not doing anything?
Well, they were standing there having cigarettes and people were watching. I know. I still can't fathom that. And
I
I
think
wonder to this day, these people who are in their 60s like me now, if they remember that, or if they maybe felt a need to want to say something.
how
Anyway,
could they not remember it?
yeah. I did have a girl, though. I went to a high school reunion 20 years later, and she looked me in the face and she point blank said to me, Leanne, how could you let them do that to you? And I remember looking at her going,
What the fuck?
"Hmm."
Sorry.
So yeah, yeah. So anyway, the reason that I'm giving this is like I came to a full stop on my life of being very protected, or as I felt, and it was like something inside of me changed. Obviously, my self-esteem, my self-worth, everything about the way I felt about myself changed in that instant.
Oh my
So I
God.
continued on, but having gone through that, something changed in me in that I started going into really abusive relationships. And that was,
Oh
well,
no.
that's okay. I mean, a lot of people do. I mean, it's part of the journey. I figured this
It
out.
is.
It's part of the
It
journey.
is. Mhm.
So, yeah, so I got married when I was 22, and I had my beautiful daughter, Nikki, and then I was blessed with a son. And when I had my son, my husband at the time, because he was not a very nice person, said that I get my tubes tied. So I got my tubes tied. And I remember the doctor saying, I was like 23. And he said,
Oh, young.
you really want to do this? Because, it's pretty final. And I said, no, I have to. Anyway, my son died at 8 months of crib death.
Mhm.
And of course, the devastation of loss of a child is something that is,
No.
I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
No.
But I went back to the doctor and I asked him if I could get my tubes re-sewn back together. And he said, well, they're the size of a spaghetti strand and you would have a 4% chance of ever having children again. I went through with it, and then God blessed me with 4 more miracle babies.
Oh, good.
So, my faith in God, or whatever people want to call the universe, God, the creator. Anyway, so that's what happened. So, and then I had, when I had my child after that, I remember nursing her, and all of a sudden I looked up and I saw this beautiful white energy just sitting there, just right 2 feet away from me. And I intuitively knew it was huge. And I intuitively knew it was my son. It was my son, Matthew.
Oh.
He came to let me know that he was
Oh.
with me and that everything was going to be okay.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Sorry.
yes. So
I have chills right now.
yes, it was beautiful. I can remember it like it was yesterday. So fast forward, then I have another beautiful daughter, Samantha, and then that marriage I finally got the strength to walk out of. But when women go through relationships like that, it really kind of beats you down. But something that I gained from that was this inner strength within me to just continue to keep moving forward, to continue to focus on who I am and where I want to be, and to understand that everything happens for a reason. When my son passed, I wasn't angry at God. I didn't blame people. I felt it was kind of weird when I think back on it. You know what? He's an angel now, and he was my angel when he was here. And so I carried that feeling with me throughout my whole life after having him. Then after that, I got married again, and I had 2 more beautiful children. And I had a daughter. I had her when I was 38, and I went to the doctor.
Whoa.
And he said, you need to have amnio, if there's anything wrong with the baby. And I just went along with it. And then he called me in and he says, I've got some good news and some bad news.
Oh, no.
Bad news is you have a daughter with Down syndrome. And the good news is you have 2 weeks to have an abortion. And I said, you know what? God gave me this baby for a reason. I didn't miss a beat. And I said, I'm not getting rid of her because she's not perfect by society standards. She is 30 years old, and she is the most incredible human being, like all of my children.
Yeah.
She's very high functioning. I'm very blessed. So I had her. That's my Isabella. And then I had a little girl, Gabrielle. and she is my baby. And
My
she's
gosh.
a very old soul. So I was blessed. I really feel truly that I was blessed with these children, because when I was young, I wanted to get married and have 10 kids. I had 6.
Oh gosh.
If I probably met the right fellow, I would have had 10, but
well, you were Catholic.
That's right. That's right. So anyway, so fast forward, going through divorces and going through traumas and going through things in life like everybody does, I learned that I'm not alone. I am no different than anybody else. Everybody struggles. Everybody goes through pain. But it's just a matter of being able to surrender and to know that you have a purpose. I always knew I had a purpose, but I didn't know exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to keep, pushing forward. Then,
May I ask a question real quick?
Of course.
So when you had all the kids, right now you didn't know anything about your gifts.
I did not.
Okay.
Yes. But there was something deep within me that just kept me grounded, that I kept going back to for whatever reason. And I believe we all do. We all have an innate sense of doing the right thing, of being the best that we can, of, accepting all of these traumas and tragedies and things in our life. But we just keep moving forward, knowing that there is a reason behind it. Mm-hmm. So, and then we moved away. I got married. I'm married to a wonderful man. We've been together for 17 years.
Yay.
And yes. And we moved out of province. And one of my daughters, my eldest daughter, Nikki, she came out to visit. And I'll never forget the day that she got out there, and that next day, her and I went out for lunch and we were talking. And then she says to me, something about, I'm never having children, Mom. She just said this out of the blue. And I remember thinking, isn't that odd? I said, no, sweetheart, you're going to be an amazing mom. And she just looks at me and she says, no, Mom, I won't be having children. And I just thought it was so bizarre that she would just say that out of the blue. That evening, we came home. Yeah, we came home and she went to have a nap. And then my youngest daughter, came to me and she said, Mommy, she was sleeping in her bed. And she said, Mommy, she won't wake up. I went to get her and I felt the back of her neck and it was still warm. So I thought, oh, she must just be in a deep sleep. Anyway, I rolled her over and she passed away. She was 29.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was, I certainly wouldn't wish that on anybody. So that was.
Gosh, two children.
Mm-hmm. So, Then not a week after that, probably a month after that, we traveled to come into where we live now, to see my mom as she was in a home with dementia and just, spend some family time. Mm-hmm. As we were driving through, it's called Rogers Pass. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's here in British Columbia, and it's absolutely stunning. Part of the world. And anyway, we were driving, my husband and I, in this he had a sports car at the time, and it started to rain out. And as we're driving, I had my seatbelt under my arm, and somebody said, "Put your seatbelt over your chest."
Yeah, that's it.
So I put the seatbelt over my chest, and within seconds, Karen, the car picked up off the ground. We hydroplaned 3 times and we went over the side of a mountain in this car. We went down like 6 stories of building. And we were hitting trees. So it was on like a 75-degree angle. And we
my gosh.
End over, and landed upside down in a river. Tree branches coming in the front of the car, water starting to rise up.
And it's cold.
And it's
freezing.
And it's cold. And my husband looks at me, and apparently I screamed the whole time. I was just like, we went over.
Not funny, but
no. And then anyway, my husband reached over and punched the door open to get us out. And as I was getting ready to get out, undoing my seatbelt, there's tree sitting on my lap. And I looked down on this tree branch in front of me, and there was a penny. And after Nikki died, I started finding pennies. And this penny was sitting right in front of me as if to say, you know what, Mom, I'm right here. We went into that accident.
My God.
We didn't have one scratch, one scar, one broken bone, nothing.
Neither of you.
Neither of us.
And your car's probably totaled.
Oh, the car was like an accordion.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that was another reason for me. And, you know, everybody has really outstanding experiences in their lives that they perhaps think, well, you know, this is just sort of a one-off. But you know what? They're not one-offs. They're there to teach us, to impart within us the fact that we are being taken care of, that there are, I believe, angels or other beings that walk beside us and help us. So
and you had that faith early on too about the angels, I imagine.
I did. Yeah, yes. I did. But it became stronger, obviously, as time went on. Then after the car accident, then we got back on track. And then about 4 years later, we moved back here to British Columbia, and we bought a house. And my daughter, Sam, she had a little boy, and everything was good. And long story short, she passed away as well, and she was 25. So, you know, I think God was super, super testing me because, you know, I just didn't want to be here anymore. It was just like,
yeah, I cannot believe 3 children you lost.
Yeah, I did. So,
Leanne, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could survive one.
Yeah, well, I know that everybody goes through loss. I know you've gone through so much loss as well, Karen. And nobody's is better or worse than the others. It's just what we're meant to go through. We all go through so much pain.
You know, I know I did, but I think the loss of a child trumps everything. I truly do. And I remember after Mom, Dad, and Carl died, I was mad. And I told God, you take my kids, you know, do not take my kids. And I thought, ooh, that probably wasn't very nice. But I was angry and I couldn't fathom the thought of losing a child. And you lost 3. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And you're not bitter. You're
no.
Okay. So we'll keep going. Oh my God.
So after Sammy died, of course, it was challenging for the whole family, not just me. My daughters lost their sisters, you know, and you forget this as parents when we lose children. And I've met so many parents that have lost children. We are so deep in our grieving that sometimes we forget that the kids are grieving just as much. They've lost a sibling, right? So I've learned so much through every experience in my life. I've just learned so much, not just about me, but about other people as well. After Sam passed, and again, going back to my family, my parents, I had amazing parents. My dad was my rock. He was there through everything. And then a couple of years after Sammy passed, my dad developed dementia and became completely blind all within 1 year.
Oh gosh.
He came to live with us, and I took care of him. And he passed. And 3 months later, my mom passed.
2 months.
So here I have these 5 people that were so important to me, and you know, God chose them, or whatever people want to think. It was their time, right? We come down here. I believe we choose our lives, we choose our families, and I believe we signed a contract, right? So all the things that we're going through is lessons that we are to learn. So after,
well, you chose doozies.
Yeah, I sure did.
All of you, you know, because I know those contracts are made with all those souls. So you guys all chose doozies, but you were the recipient of all of them.
Yeah. I never thought of it that way.
Oh my gosh, you like chose a hard path, girl.
Yeah, I guess I did. So after my mom passed, I started getting these visions. I started seeing these eyes. I'd be sleeping, and then it was like all these people were coming into my face, and I thought, this is crazy. Like,
how old are you at that point in time?
This was like 6 years ago, so I was 62.
Okay.
And anyway, I had the pleasure and honor of having a reading from a very dear friend of mine. She's my mentor now. And I told her about these visions that I'm having. And she said, well, you know what? I think it's time. You need to start to become a medium and start to help other people. And this is why you're getting these signs. So I was very fortunate. I started taking classes and working with some of the best tutors, like in the UK and internationally. Like it was just amazing. My journey. And the most important thing that came through all that is my kids and my parents came to me, and I saw them and I felt them, and I know that they're with me all the time. So I think that helps a lot in the loss. I mean, certainly we never get over losing the people that we love because of the memories and not being able to hug them. But you know what? I tell them how much I love them. They show themselves in different ways. I have a whole piggy bank of pennies from Nikki. I have a whole piggy bank of dimes from Sam. So, yeah. So anyway, I started just like a sponge, just wanting to, and know
more and more and more.
Yes.
Wow, and you had to experience quite a bit to get you to the point of the mediumship too.
Yeah. And I think that's what takes me back to the reason I think that people need to understand that every single person goes through stuff like me or worse or not so bad, but it doesn't matter. These are the lessons that they're learning, and that they have the ability to connect with their loved ones and with spirits on the other side. Because I truly don't believe when we die, our bodies are staying here, but we just become the energy that we are. And that's why, then this is, people don't understand this. You do, because you're a medium. But, just educating people and letting them know that they too, their loved ones are right there with them. And that's what we do as mediums, right? I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what's comforting, knowing that, I've got my dad, that is comforting. That is comforting. Oh, I don't know if you would have survived if you didn't have that fortitude and knowing that it was happening the way it was supposed to. Yes. And it was lessons for you too.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. So many lessons.
I got to back up a minute, because what happened to you at school is like bothering me. Yeah. Did anything happen to those young men?
Nothing. My dad, actually, that day I went home and I told my dad, and my dad, I'll never forget, his face went white and he literally started to shake. So we went up to the school, and as we're walking to the principal's office, these guys are in the hallway and they're at their lockers. And I remember them smirking at me. Like, I was 14. I was a virgin. I was just like this innocent. I came from this world of protection, this bubble. And so I just couldn't fathom why this would happen. But anyway, my dad and I went in to see the principal, and I'll never forget, Carrie, this man, we told him what happened, and this man sat in his chair and he puts his hands behind his head and he leans back in his chair and he goes, my boys would never do something like that.
Oh my gosh.
That was the end of the discussion. That was it. Nothing.
And other people are there watching. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. I still to this day can't understand what were their lessons. Yeah, and you know what another ironic thing is? The very church that this happened, it was in the back of the church. Remember, the kids were outside smoking and they called me to the back? That is the same church that I buried my son in.
Wow.
Wow. I just like, so it's trying to put all the puzzle pieces together too. It's like, so God was telling me that, it was like coming full circle, right?
Yeah, I'm just stunned, to tell you the truth. And I'm going to tell you, those young men and all those other people, I'm sure they think about this, and I'm sure they have regret and remorse. Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Well, I have to tell you, I followed people on Facebook, and 4 of them have passed.
Oh, they have.
From either cancer or accidents or whatever. So there's one that's still, but, and I was so tempted to reach out and just say, do you feel, do you understand the impact that you made on a 14-year-old girl so many years ago and how it totally altered my life?
Oh, it sure did. It broke your safety bubble too.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah. And, at 14, usually your world is still Pollyanna. Everything's good and perfect. And you're just starting to, whoa. If you ever reach out to that guy, let me know.
Yeah. Yeah. My team keeps saying, no, just leave it. It's
okay.
Yeah. Because I've wrestled with it in my mind, like, do I or don't I? And then my team just said, no, just leave it. You know what? Everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that everything does happen for a reason. And whatever karma or whatever is meant to be played out for each one of us, for all of the choices that we made, I have no control over that, right? So he's going to live his life the way his life is meant to be. I was part of it. He was part of it. And that's as far as it goes. So.
And to think you'll be rejoined later.
Yeah.
And understand all this in a higher spiritual sense too.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man, Leanne. I'm just glad you survived. I am really glad you survived.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So, tell us about your spiritual journey now.
Well, that played a big part in why I have a spiritual journey. I have an amazing team of guides and angels that they've carried me through everything. And maybe that's why I've never felt bitterness, or I've never felt angry at people for doing things to me. I've always been accepting and saying, well, and I'm not saying it like yay me, because it isn't a yay me thing. It's just, I guess, I don't know. Maybe I've lived it in another life. I don't know. But I truly believe that we all have to come to our own understandings of our own self. So now, as a medium and a healer, I get to work with people all over the world, and I get to help and guide people. I do a lot of soul journeys for people because I'm very clairsentient, and I feel people's pain. I feel what they've been through and where they're going. So it gives my heart such joy to be able to help people and maybe even make a little bit of a difference in them understanding that they're not bad people for the choices that they made, right? That everything is the way and according to the way it's supposed to go.
Supposed to be. Will you tell people that may not know what a soul journey entails?
A soul journey is where my spirit, my team, I connect with their team. I go into like an altered state of consciousness, and my team connects with their team. And I can physically feel if they're struggling with anxiety or if they have any pains in their bodies. But I also, I also see into their minds, and I see into their lives on why they're going through what they're going through. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I express to them perhaps why they're going through it, or more importantly, letting them know that it isn't forever, right? When all of us go through pain of any kind, we live in that moment and we don't allow anything else outside of us except feeling that pain or self-pity or whatever people feel in that moment. So I can help people to navigate them through those feelings of unworthiness or self-doubt or anything that inhibits their way of thinking clearly to get them to where they need to be.
And you have a gentle soul, so I know that people would trust you too, because you're asking people to be vulnerable and to face fear and to be courageous.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you do that soul journey through trance, or is it a different modality?
I do it through trance. Yes.
Okay. And let's just assume people don't know what trance is. Okay. Can you explain what trance mediumship is?
So trance mediumship is, so if you're doing mediumship and I'm connecting with a loved one, right? So the loved one is coming to me and they're sharing visions because spirit can't talk. So they use our voice box. Their thoughts come into our minds and then we can express what they're trying to say. So if it's a mediumship reading, they're expressing through me to be able to convey what they want to be said. When I go into trance, they come through me. They blend with me, and they can speak through me, as opposed to telling me stuff. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes sense to me. Yes, it does. Do you ever, I know that a mutual friend of ours does live trance events. Are there any trance events that people can tune in to see you do that?
I don't have anything currently. The summer's getting over and we're just getting back into fall and getting things all set up. So there isn't anything at this time, but I will certainly be advertising it on my website and on my Facebook page.
Oh, and then we had a little discussion about you doing trance live on my podcast too.
Yes.
So that'll be wonderful. Yeah. And my viewers know, but not everybody tuning in, that I love trance. I do. When you connect spirit to spirit and you're immersed in that love, it's incredible.
It is truly incredible.
It is incredible. Yeah. Nothing can describe it, how good it feels.
No. And once you're there, you don't want to come out of it. It's just like, oh, it's And of course, everybody feels it differently. I feel so blessed because I feel like they chose me to be able to express to people, but I feel them so strongly. Like when I come out of trance, I can't move my legs. Like I feel so heavy. It's like they embody me, which is, it's amazing being enveloped by spirit. It's so beautiful, and so many people can do it. And I think I just want people to know that it's easily available to anybody that decides that that's what they want to do.
Do you teach courses in trance?
I do not at this time. However, that is coming up as well. Yes.
Good disclaimer. It's going to be in the future.
Yes.
So right now you could offer mediumship, counseling, or classes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, good. Oh my gosh. I'm still stuck on your journey.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh gosh. These are like silly. I know the answer to these questions. Well, tell us the process about trance so people will understand that. How does that work?
So when I meet with a client, we sit and we chat, and I get to know a little bit about them, and they get to know a little bit about me. And then we go through a little process where I get them to do some breathing and close their eyes. And then I go into a trance state, an altered state of consciousness. And it takes a few minutes. My team comes through, my guide that directs me through. And it just depends on what the person is interested in. If they want a soul journey, if they want soul guidance, or if they want a trance, like a loved one. I have had loved ones come through, and then the loved ones speak through me and tell them, the person that's sitting there, the client, pieces of information that only they would know, right?
Right.
So, so I work like that, and it makes such a huge difference in people's lives, and it's just so rewarding, right? To be
it does. It really does.
Yeah, and absolutely,
Oh yeah, the impact.
Yes.
I remember the first time I was talking to Nico's collective, Noah, and all I did was feel immersed in love.
Yes.
Just pure love. And I took my glasses off, and Noah's got his eyes closed, and I'm trying to wipe tears away because it's so overwhelming. It's so beautiful. And his collective starts talking about my tears, and I thought, hey, you got your eyes closed.
Yes. Yeah.
but Spirit knew what was going on. It was beautiful.
Spirit never ceases to amaze me. Never ceases to amaze me. It's just such a beautiful thing. And with everything that's going on in the world right now, everywhere, there's so much pain and there's just so much intolerance, and everybody knows what's going on. But
Yeah.
I truly feel that it's happening for a reason, and that's to lift the collectiveness of all of us together. More and more people that I'm talking to are becoming spiritually aware or spiritually curious. And that's great, because that's what we need, is to lift the energy in this world. And, one of my favorite sayings I've always used is, "And the meek shall inherit the earth."
Oh my gosh.
That is one of my favorite. And I could never figure out why, but now I know.
Oh,
It's
that
because
makes so much sense.
it does, doesn't it?
It does. I have a big chill on that one.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yes. Yeah. So I truly believe that it's those of us that, are helping others and wanting to see the world change. And like everybody does, we all want love. We all have hope. We all have dreams. We all have compassion. We all have empathy. All of us are capable of all of that, right? And so if we bring it all together, it'll help to rise all the goodness that's in the world, and push away the darkness that's, sort of hanging over like a bad cloud.
Yeah, it's a little too strong right now, that
Yes.
darkness. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but everything has a season. And,
it does.
Yeah. And we chose to come here during this time too.
We did. We sure did.
You know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to it when the galactic beings really come and show themselves. And people, okay, this is going to shake up how you think.
Yes.
So,
yeah. It's really crazy. I had an experience with an alternate reality. And I just want to quickly share it with you because it was so amazing. I was with my daughter and we were downtown. We were going to go have a coffee. And we drove by this coffee house on the corner. And there was all these people sitting out there having coffee. And I thought, oh, that looks like a good place. So we go up next block, park the car. We come back, cross the street, go past all of these people. There must have been 20 people in these tables and chairs. There was a dog lying there. And it was a beautiful sunny day. And then we walked into the little coffee shop and it was like, there was nothing in there. It was like the glass shelves were empty. It was like sort of steel on the walls. It was like, it was insane, Karen. So my daughter and I look and we go, like, there's nothing here. We walked out of the restaurant, Karen, and there is nobody sitting there. Not one soul.
What in the heck?
I was like, holy crap, man. Like, what the hell was that?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, anyway, I just wanted to share that because it was like,
so you went to the coffee shop that was non-existent inside.
No.
Yet people are outside enjoying coffee. Oh my God, what reality did you go to?
I don't know, but it certainly really piqued my interest, if you will, in
and your daughter's with you.
Yes, my daughter's very spiritual and she's
okay, good.
Oh yeah.
Oh my Lord, that's a great story.
Yeah, I just thought it was very cool.
That's an Outer Limits episode right there.
Outer Limits. Yes.
Did you go find coffee other places?
We did.
Yeah. So I got to know, you went in and then when you went out, are the people still there?
No, that's what I said. We walked out. There was nobody sitting there.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying.
That.
It was insane. We looked there, all the people that were there and that dog laying there. It was like a big yellow dog. And we come out and there's nobody there.
Well, at least you didn't think you were crazy.
I didn't. Thank goodness. I just thought, okay. It's showing us the different aspects of what's going on, right? Have to be open-minded.
Never experienced anything like that.
And one of my mantras that I've always maintained is, your mind is like a parachute. It isn't any good to you unless it's open.
Yep. Oh, I haven't heard that in so long. That is perfect.
Yeah.
Or yeah, your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's
Yeah.
great. Oh, Leanne, you are just fabulous. You
Oh,
seriously are. And you shared very vulnerable aspects about your life. So you're also very brave and you're very courageous to
thank
do
you.
that.
Well,
To
I will
speak.
have to share with you, this is the first time that I've spoken to it, about it to anybody other than my family.
You're
So I must
kidding.
feel very safe with you in order, or guide my
Right,
spirit
yeah.
team needs me to put it out there. Just, I think the big thing to take away from that is
Oh,
that these types of things happen more often than we know. And there are so many women that are impacted by stuff like this, and they don't say anything. They don't share it. They carry it as shame and as so many things that I did.
yeah.
So
They think they're dirty or something.
yes,
And it
yes,
wasn't about them. I mean, it
no,
wasn't them.
no, no. So,
Gosh.
I,
And that
I always,
principal. Sorry, I was
um,
in the school system. That
yeah,
principal, I
yeah,
hate to say
no,
shame on you, but man, that was horrible way to
yeah,
react.
yeah, it was, it was. So now when we all go through stuff, and if I'm having a bad day and I go in a coffee shop and a girl isn't very friendly, I just think, you know what, maybe her mom just died. Maybe she's got an abusive partner. Maybe, so that we're more compassionate with everybody, because we all have a story and we don't know what people are going through.
That's so true. That is so true. We don't.
No.
And to offer them a smile or a nice
Yes.
word can
Yes.
change everything too.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So
Yeah. Well, Leanne, I want to have you back on the channel. You are fabulous, and I thank you for sharing. And was it okay for you to talk about your story?
it was. I was ready to talk about it. So you know what? I appreciate you listening, and yeah, it
Well,
was
and
good.
I thank you, and I thank your team too. I thank your team for allowing you to do that also, because that's a story that could have been written to help others too. And you might do that down the road. Who knows?
I did, but that's another time. I wrote a book, but I haven't published it, so that's another story.
Is it on your life
Yeah,
experience?
yeah,
Oh, well, it's going to be published. You know that.
yeah, yes, yeah. Just not right in this moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it
Okay.
will.
Well, people have learned a lot about you, and I think you've entered a new chapter into your life now.
I think so too, and that's thanks to you, Karen. Thank you, hon.
I'm glad I was led to you
Yes. Yeah.
because spirit leads me to whom I need to talk to.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there, but spirit leads me, and I just follow. And then
Yes.
I meet the most beautiful, wonderful people out there on my journey too.
It's because you put out there and you get back what you are, Karen. Always remember that.
Yeah, whatever we put out, we get back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna say goodbye, but don't
Yes.
leave, okay? Because I want to talk to you afterwards.
Okay, hon. Thank you so
Okay.
much for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much. Complete love for you.
And you as well.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.